could turn back time, I'd do it all the same. Wait, no, there are some things that I would change, the things that drove me insane, like when the dope got hold of me.
My name's Chris Standing. I grew up in Macquarie Fields. Growing up in Macquarie Fields, it wasn't easy. There wasn't much to do. We came down to the tunnels to drink and get stoned. For most of us, this was our way of catching up with each other and having fun. When I was a young person, growing up in Macquarie Fields, you know, we had a lot of issues around crime, around boredom, around drug and alcohol abuse. This community needs to educate families, educate young people about the effects and the harms of cannabis, what it can do to your body, your family, your friends. The addiction can hurt you economically, like your money-wise, and you know that means your family misses out. So a lot of these kids in my community grow up seeing their family do it, their mother do it, their father do it, and think it's a norm. So they get into that habit, and we just need to break the cycle.
I'm Brandon. I live in Macquarie Fields. I'm from Cara, and I moved up there in probably 2001. Well, when we moved back, and I was a bit lost. I was just all my old friends. Like, it was a bit weird to go and see them, and you know, just to go and catch up on a lot of things. And yeah, when I found out they was smoking cannabis, and I tried it one night, and it just made me feel real sick. The stuff that I saw is just, it makes them really paranoid. You know, it's just they start using violence against the family. Being lost, it's hard when not having friends around. You know, you need someone straight to talk to. You know what I mean? You just want someone around, especially when you're having hard times in the family and that. When you lost some family, you know, and it's hard, trying to move on. But now that I met some people in my life, you know, they made me to see the other side. Ever since I've seen the other side, you know, I've been so much better. I've been, you know, I don't have to use that cannabis, you know what I mean? Like, you seem to go about your own way, you do your own thing.
I'm Auntie Jan, Nana Macquarie Fields. Been here 20 plus years. My bones are from Waikato near Auckland. Definitely the changes of cannabis over the use of time has been the societal costs, familial costs, families, clearly health services, networks, and it's the destruction and the eroding of all the values of those things that come with use over a period of time. I always say, people say about young people, but you know, young people belong to a family. Families belong to a community. Community is part of society. So somehow the eroding of all those things trickle down. So if you have a whole family afflicted with addiction, whatever, cannabis, whatever it is, it erodes the values of the core things that hold us together. So the destruction of that carries through with those children, young people, into adulthood, goes into employment, unemployment, goes into health issues. And most of the end of the line comes through incarceration, whether it be juvenile justice, whether it be adult incarceration. And you know, and that cost is immeasurable, isn't it? But it's the human costs. I have learnt a lot from the young people in Macquarie Fields, and other areas that I've been loosely connected with, in terms of that well of grief. When it's impacted with the use of cannabis and drug of choice, that's where they go to. And I often say to them, you keep on this track, and that's where you're going too. We don't want to say goodbye to you here. So I guess the privilege of having this opportunity to talk with you today is to say, live. Do what you need to do to live. And if it means sharing the message of cannabis and drug use to others, use it so that you give them the message of hope to live, not to give them that message at the cemetery. Too late.
On behalf of every elder, past, present and future, every living descendant of those people, I acknowledge and respect you, and I welcome you here today on behalf of those people.
Yeah, my name's Alan Knight. I'm the ACLO at Campbelltown Police Station, local area command. Marijuana is, they think it's a light drug, but it's one of the big parts as in our community sort of stuff, and we're trying to stop it with the young kids getting on it, and we don't want them to go further progress with it. So it's a really big thing in our community that we're trying to get programs in to stop it, sort of thing, and seeing adults come in affected and just. There's a few kids getting out there doing it, and we just don't want, them to be trying this stuff at their age. Through my job, you could look at, there's a lot of factors in people taking cannabis, all, from the rich to the poor. And in the Aboriginal community, it's sort of like, is one of those priorities with housing, with health, work situations, and it all plays a big factor, and depression, it gets in, and then they just turn, and there's no money coming to families, and they, the best way to put their worries away is starting on drugs and cannabis, sort of thing. And that sort of runs down through the family, and, like with our men's group here, that our thing is heal the man, and, so we could heal the family sort of thing. So this is one of the things that we're trying to look at, getting programs in our community. As an Aboriginal person in our community, I like to see Aboriginal people, elders in our community, Aboriginal organisation, Aboriginal ones, take control of their community, take control of our kids and get out there more and promoting about this drug. It might seem a little thing to a lot of people where there's got ice and everything out there, bigger drugs, but it starts off with the little drugs. So, if we could try to get programs out there with our organisations and get more involved with the community and that sort of stuff, and with the kids and promoting it, and it shows what it's, what is the dangers of it all. And, what can it do with your life sort of thing. So, yeah, we have to try to stop that more. So a lot of these kids in the community don't know much about culture sort of thing, and they need to learn more about it sort of thing and see a different side of it. Culture plays a big part, and a lot of the kids these days haven't got it. They need to touch on it and get back to it. Honestly, I've seen a lot of good Aboriginal young people with sports, great players. You go and see them, and then turn to drugs. Marijuana is one of the big things. They could play like a champion in the first game, and I've seen it. In the second half, it just dies out of them, And that's the sad thing about some of the kids who are playing in our sport, and sport doesn't mix. And I've seen the ads from the big guys at TV, and it's true. And I've seen it myself playing football. Drugs don't help, with marijuana sort of. And they need to look at that and understand that this drug is not good for sport, and turn them into doing healthy things, healthy living, healthy lifestyles.
My name's Alan Macquarie. I'm from the Wadi, Kurnai down in Victoria, my people, Darawal, Ewan, Nathan. I'm 50 years old of age, chair of the Men's Corporation, Darawal Men's Aboriginal Corporation. I've been through a bit of a journey myself in life. I've been hurt people who I've loved, and it's not a very nice track to take. I try and make sure that, young people going through that, I make sure that I get in there and support them and help them and mend relationships and that. And, this men's group was started off through a lot of hurt and pain and suffering through the services and getting kids taken off you going through your addictions and stuff like that, and how it rules your family and controls your life. So that's how this men's group was started, and there's a lot of people out there that need this guidance and direction, and having this men's group, it's a good start for us in this community. Our motto, it stems from what the community needs and what we need as a driving force for. It's our badge we take with us, and that is heal the man, the family wins, heal the family, community wins. We do a lot of mentoring programs with the youth. We work in with the juvenile justice system with Reby and stuff like that, and we go to the schools and any troubled youths and Koori youths in the area, we go in to see the schools and set in programs where they can come out to our men's group and give them a bit of structure back in their life again, because a lot of these young kids, they don't know where they're going and what they're doing, and then like we were like that too, and that's why we're here. So, you know, we've given them that structure back and that bit of feeling of self-worth, and it's amazing what self-worth can lead to. And we put them in training programs with the TAFE and the fellas who, we've got a program called Brothers for Others program happening where they go to court systems and the courts put conditions on them, and so they come for our program where we mow lawns and fix houses up, and we get them OH&S certificates, we get their licences. Even for drug rehabilitation programs, they come through us, and we've got to abide by the court conditions, but at least they're working with their own people, and it makes it a lot easier for them, and there's no argument about it. They know that they've got to do it, and you know, the young fellas, they realise what they're in there for, and you know, and they go back as better fathers, and you know, and they give something back to the community.
I've been working as a youth worker for 6 years. I started as a trainee youth worker and then went to TAFE, and now I'm a qualified youth worker. I work with young mums and young people from the community, just helping them with support with any issues they have. When I was young, I felt that a lot of the reason why young people did start smoking cannabis is boredom, had nothing else to do. Men that smoke cannabis with partners that are trying to quit smoking makes it really harder for the partner to quit because it's around them all the time. It just makes them feel like they want to smoke it again because their partner's smoking still. It's still around the children, whether the mum quits and the dad's still smoking, it's still around the babies. They grew up around it with their families and older brothers and dads and mums smoking it. So it was just like a normal thing in life that they didn't see it was a problem. I'd like to tell young mums to really know what issues it can cause in their family, not only just family issues, legal issues, financial issues, what effects it can have on them, their mental health issues, and to be aware of what it can just do to them in general. Services can improve by having more female activities and even providing more, childcare for the young mums to be able to be a part of a program where they can have that space away from their babies without getting interrupted.
My name's Ashley. For the past 8 years, I've lived in the Campbelltown area. I have 2 kids. There's nothing around here basically to, occupy the young kids. One person starts it, another just follows, and it's just a cycle. The problems I think cannabis can cause in families is a lot of issues. Money, violence, abuse. It can tear families apart. I think a partner should stop using cannabis while a woman is pregnant, not only because, he's smoking around her and she's craving for it, but because, she's given up for that child. Why can't he? The message I would give to mums that are pregnant smoking cannabis would be to just stop, basically. I know it's hard, but your child needs to come first.
What I think needs to be in place for people who are thinking of quitting cannabis, there need to be a variety of services available for these people. There need to be services available for men, services available for women, service available for young people. They need to burn some energy, like be involved in local sporting teams, and so some of them need education, some of them need to get into school and finish year 10, year 11, year 12. Some of these young people need to help with getting their licence, help paying fines and stuff like that. So my role is to support them through that journey and be positive and make sure that they meet their goals, because at the end of the day it's all about them. They know what they want in life, and if they're not going down the right way about reaching these goals, then we're there to push them back on track and help them through that. My message to young people using cannabis or using other drugs: understand what it's doing to your body, understand what it's doing to you personally, and understand what it's doing to your people around you. A lot of people say that drugs take your soul. I think it's true, and it can get a hold of you really, really easy.
Cause now I've changed my ways. I say goodbye to the days that were wasted getting stoned. Instead I'm hitting the gym, getting toned, looking after my heart, body and soul. I was under the dope's control, but not anymore, cause now I'm sure no more picking mummy up off the floor. Cause that's where I've been most of the days, till I got up and I changed my ways.